What's up guys, it's Tweedie here, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on 2D motion tracking. I'm going to be using Boujou and After Effects, and yeah, so let's get started. First, one thing you're going to want to need is some sort of moving cinematic. I recorded one on PC using Fraps. I'm going to be using this COD 4 one here. And yeah, I recorded it in 60 frames per second. Make sure you note down what the FPS is, and yeah, all the stuff like that. So let me just open up After Effects. This sometimes takes a while. As you can see, CPU takes up a lot when it's opening, especially while I'm recording. It's going to take even longer. So yeah, I'm doing this tutorial because a lot of you guys requested it. It's quite a nice effect, and I wouldn't really say it's overused at all. It's using a few things, but like not really enough for it to be overused. So yeah, I think it's open now. Alright, so let's go to Project, Movies, just drag it in. Now you're going to want to just make it as a new composition and see from if you want to like change it at all, like the length of it, you're going to want to do that. You can do this bit in Sony Vegas, but yeah, I prefer doing it in After Effects. So I'm just going to change the area to how long I actually want it to be. Like mine isn't going to be very long at all for the purpose of like rendering in this tutorial and stuff like that. So I'm just going to do it like that. Whoops, like that. So basically the text is going to be tracked to like there, and then it's just going to go through it. So yeah, you're going to want to add this to the render queue. You're going to want to render 2 out, so add it to the render queue twice. Put 1 and make it PNG sequence. And for this one, you're going to want to make yourself a new folder. Let me just make a new one, because it's going to be creating lots of frames, so you don't want all the frames like in one place where you're going to need it. Like if you put it on your desktop, it's just going to get filled up with pictures, so you're just going to want to put it in one folder. And this one you're going to have to render it just as lossless, and if you want to like make it smaller, do a compression, but I wouldn't recommend it. Right, sorry about that one guys. So yeah, I was saying you're going to want to render it as lossless, and like I said, you could do a compression if you wanted. And this is just going to create one video file, so just put it anywhere. I'm going to name mine Fave, because it'll just go to the sequence folder. And then yeah, you just click render. I'm just going to pause it while it renders. So alright, it's now finished rendering. And the PNG sequence is always going to take longer than the lossless file. So yeah, remember, make sure you have the frame rate that you rendered in, and remember it. So yeah, now we're going to exit this and go into Boujou. Should just have there. Boujou doesn't normally take too long to load up. If it is going to load up for me. Alright. So the first thing you're going to want to do, go to your like folders or whatever, and find where you saved the sequence. So yeah, I saved it here. And going to want to drag in the first frame and drag it into there. And you have to change the frame rate or else it's going to screw up. I have mine as 60, and if you're recording on console, it will normally either be like 59.94 or 29.97. Then just click apply and click close. And also, sometimes with some versions of Boujou, this messes up. You're going to want to go on edit sequence and change the frame rate again. It doesn't mess up on mine, but I know people whose it has. Right, so the next thing you're going to want to do is track features, go into advanced and put it up to the max. This is just going to track like all the little like kind of different parts on the video. It's probably going to take a while, so I'm going to pause it. Alright guys, mine's finished tracking the features, and this should all come up like a lot of red dots. Sometimes it'll have yellow lines, sometimes it doesn't, mine does. And yeah, the next thing you're going to want to do is go to camera solve. You can tick that, but I don't normally. I'll just leave it unticked and just click start. This won't take as long as tracking features. As you can see, it's going pretty quick. Right, now we're getting on to probably the most complicated part in the tutorial, so you have to like listen quite well. So go to scene geometry. If you've done 3D motion tracking before, then you'll probably know what to do, but if you haven't, then you're gonna have to, listen. So you're gonna want to add coordinate from hint, change it to the z-axis, and z-axis is like going away from you. So like, let's just choose that one and that one because it's coming away from you. You're gonna have to hold control to select them both, and click connect to selected. Now click on add coordinate from hint again, choose one that's the x-axis, and if you do maths at school, which you probably should, you know the x-axis goes up. So we're going to want to find one where it goes upwards. It'd be better if it's in the a similar frame, but I can't really see many, so I'm going to choose that one and that one. Gonna connect to selected. Then add another one. It's going to be the y-axis. Y-axis goes left. Oh no, it goes across. So let's just find one. That one and that one. Connect that to selected. Add one last coordinate, make it the origin. It's got to be like around the center. I'll just choose that one. Connect to selected. And you just want to keep on clicking that because sometimes it just won't work. So yeah, I'm going to just quickly save my project file just there. So yeah, here is when we're going to export it. Oh wait, no, not yet. First you have to hold control on a couple of frames where you want to put the text. So I'm going to put mine around this sort of area. So hold control and select all these. Right click it, right click just one of them and click flag for export. Right, now go to export camera solve. Change the export type to After Effects Maya. Tick export flag tracks only, and this is really important, change the scale by scene to 500. Alright guys, I had to pause it for a second there. But yeah, find a place where you want to save it. I'll just save it in here, it's 5. Make sure all these settings are correct, because if they're not, then it's really going to screw it up. So all the settings that I have here. And whenever you change that, those two are going to get unticked, so you're going to have to change it back. So just click save. Alright, I have to record the After Effects bit again. I did record it, but it didn't pick up the audio, so I'm just gonna do it again. So yeah, open up After Effects. You have to find the Maya file and the AVI file that you rendered at the beginning. Alright, double click the composition that comes up when you bring in the Maya file and drag the AVI into the timeline. You see it's motion track to the ground, the points. Alright, now I'm just going to make some text saying tutorial. Probably just going to change colour to just black just so you can see it well. Alright, Now here's like this part, you got to do some like small little details that if you don't do it, it'll like mess it up, so you got to listen. Right, so choose a point. It could be really anyone. I'm just going to choose that one because it looks best. Press P and it brings up the position. Now click on the position, press Ctrl C, and on the text or whatever you're motion tracking, press P, click on it, and press Ctrl V, so it copies the position. But now you see the text is up there. Obviously we don't want that, so what fixes this is when you go onto 3D layer, and obviously we don't want that either, so you're just gonna have to like change the orientation. Don't know which one it is, it's just like that. And you'll see now that you've done that, it is properly motion tracked. Alright, but obviously you have to move it to the place, so as you can see, this is, you have to move it along the axis as if it were like 3D, because it's kind of acting as if it's 3D, so you got to move it with these little arrows that you get. And like I said at the beginning, I want to motion track it to around this area, but then if I go like that, you see it isn't right at it, so you're gonna have to just move it a little bit forward, and like if need be, change the size and all that stuff. And then you see that's pretty nice. Motion tracked, goes through it, and you see go up, still motion tracked, goes through it. And yeah, that's pretty much what we were aiming for. That wraps up the tutorial. Hope you learnt something. I hope you learnt how to motion track, which is what I'm trying to teach you. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please give the video a like. And yeah, comment more suggestions for tutorials, because I do like doing it. And yeah, thanks for watching.